Alright, so this is going to be a quick video showing how to open up and disassemble this HP Envy M laptop model 17m-cg0013dx. Alright, so as you can see, the rubber feet already are missing here. We're going to be using a JS1 screwdriver. We got to remove, there's still the plastic adhesive layer here covering the screws, so we're going to have to get that out. Usually you can get that out either with your fingernails, or you'll need like a thin flathead screwdriver, maybe a needle. It helps to kind of go where a screw already is, and then you can get underneath there and pop that up. Okay, so once you get that, we're gonna peel it. Technically this isn't needed, but you can put it back just so it kind of keeps the screws from falling out if for some reason they somehow loosen themselves. Alright, it looks like we're also going to need a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. But anyways, let's go ahead and zoom back out and remove all the JS1 screws. Alright, if this video helps you out, please make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, if you can't do that, it's also very helpful if you could watch a few of my other videos and then post a comment there, because that's what YouTube likes to see. Also, the screws can be different size, shape, and length, so it's best to keep them in order. The way you do that, or the way I do that, is I put them flat side down like that. In the pattern, I remove them on my desk. This screw mount seems to be broken, so that's why I left that screw there. It looks like that one's also broken, and this one's also broken. Hopefully I can still remove the bottom cover, because sometimes when it's broken like that, the plastic is sandwiched in between the screw mount and the screw are like sandwiching a piece that I can't remove. So we'll see, because that's gonna possibly make the job much harder. All right, as you can see, there's another screw hidden under here as well, so we're gonna peel that up. Okay, again, it helps to start where the screw is if you can. Okay, and then we'll just peel this up. All right. All right, we got another JS1 screw here. And then we got the two T5 or Torx 5 screws down here. All right, hopefully none of the other screws are broken. It seems like they're okay. But this is probably going to be very difficult to remove because of those broken screws. Let's see. I hope not. All right, so sometimes for this, it helps to use a suction cup. So let me grab one here. And let's see if we can pop this out. So I'm going to use the suction cup here. I'm going to grab from the side little edge here and see if I can pull this up. And it doesn't seem like this one's going to come out that way. So what I'm going to do is I'll carefully open this. And I'll get my fingernails in the gap here. And then I'll push with my thumb on the palm rest. You don't want to push on the touchpad, just the palm rest area. All right, and let's see if we can pop the cover that way. Okay, this cover seems to be holding really strong, so it might not be able to come out. Also, the way it's designed with the screws, it might be easier to pop this way, but because the broken screws, I don't know. I guess let's find out. Let's try and pull it this way. So we'll start from this side and we'll try and pop some clips here, but it looks like, again, because those broken screws, it's probably not going to come out. I'm probably going to have to pry it with a metal pry tool at this rate. Okay, so I'm going to be using this metal pry tool here. It's actually like a pharmacy spatula for counting the pills and stuff. But anyways, we're going to go in here, and as you can see, I'm pulling on the cover and then using this to kind of help hold it down and also get in between and kind of wiggle it where the clips potentially are. Okay, and you can see we got that. But again, I don't know how I'm going to get the back up because of those broken clips. So this is going to be, I don't know, we might not be able to get this open. I told the customer it'd probably take about half an hour, but I didn't realize all these screw mounts were going to be broken. So I guess we'll find out. All right, we're going to go from this side now. Same thing. As you can see, the tool, if you just get it barely in and you kind of just wiggle it like that, you can pop the clips. Okay, but again, this side, also broken screws here. So I'm not too sure how I'm going to get this out. We're just going to have to keep prying and trying. Let's see if I can twist the screw. Sometimes you can twist the screw a bit as you're separating it, because the friction pulling the two parts away from each other allow it to kind of grip to the other part it's sandwiched in the middle of. But this one has 2 broken, so this one feels like it's a little bit grip, but not really. So I guess we're just gonna have to pop this. The customer did say it's completely dead, this thing, and they kind of just wanted the data off. So let's kind of work our way around the front, even though this isn't how you're supposed to do it. But it looks like it's popping out. Okay, and there's also a clip inside in the middle here, so we might have to pull from this side. Yep. Okay, because the clip hooks in this way, so when you pull it up, it kind of rolls the clip that way. All right, so we kind of got the front of the cover up, but again, the broken screw mounts are going to make this very difficult. I was not expecting that at all, so I might have to let the customer know, because this is going to make it a much more difficult job and possibly increase the cost. Let's see. So, oh, there we go. So as you can see, I was pulling the cover apart as I opened it, and it was able to pop out, and you can see it was actually sandwiched between the hinge. So I don't know how we're going to do this side, because this side has 2 screws, but let's try and do the same thing. Pulling up here, unscrewing this side, and I don't think it's going to come out because it's stuck with this one also. So let's try and pull this side up and then try and undo this screw. Kinda. Is it out? Kind of. Alright, I'm going to rotate it this way, get my finger further or closer to the screw, and continue trying to unscrew, and I think that screw's just about out. There we go. Okay, so that is working. We do just have to get one last screw out. Okay, so I'm going to pull up on here hard and try and unscrew again. Wow, this is going to take a lot of force here. Push on it harder and continue trying to unscrew. Yeah, this one I might have to actually like use a drill to turn the screw as I open it up, basically to cause some friction and then have it melt through this cover. But let's see, I'm going to rotate this, and it's going to hopefully help pull it separate a little bit on its own. Try and separate it some more, pulling the 2 parts apart. It doesn't seem like it's working. Oh, there we go. Okay, that worked. So we got that out. Okay, and as you can see, it looks like there's some liquid damage in here, so that kind of explains why it's dead. I see like rust on the RAM slots. Okay, we're just gonna quickly go over this. Also, there's also some liquid corrosion there. So the customer just needed me to get the data off of it. So we're gonna pull the hard drive out just so you can kind of, or not the hard drive, sorry, the battery out just so you can see. Looks like maybe 4 screws holding it in place. All right, 1 on each corner. The battery model number is here, SA04XL. So if you have this laptop and you need to replace the battery, that's the model you will need. Okay, you can go ahead and, oh, there's another screw in the middle here, so don't forget that one. Okay, so there's actually 5 screws. All right, once you get all those screws, you can go under the corner here and then kind of help lift it, work your way towards the center, and there you go, it swings upwards and comes out that way. Again, battery model is SA04XL. Set that there. Okay, so here you can see inside. If you're working on other stuff and the computer's still working, after disconnecting the battery, you want to open up the laptop, and then since it's missing the screws, you're going to have to be extra careful slowly opening it, and then you want to press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds. Is the power button on this one on the side or in the middle? Oh, it's in the middle of the keyboard here. So you would press and hold that for 15 seconds. But because this thing is liquid damaged and completely fried and they're not repairing it, we're not going to bother with that. I'm going to push down on the hinges because this is missing the screws. And if you close it without it, it can sometimes rip the screws out that way. So you want to be careful. We're just going to go over the components in here. LCD LVDS connector is here. This is for the screen cable. You got the fan connector here. You got the this is the speaker connector here, and then it has the wire going along underneath to the other speaker here. Fan connector is here. You got RAM under here. I'll show you in a bit. I don't know why it looks like there's 2 keyboard backlight connectors. Is there a fingerprint? Oh, okay, sorry. So fingerprint reader, which one is fingerprint? Oh, there's broken plastic bits here. Okay, so this one is the keyboard backlight connector. This is the keyboard connector, and then this is the fingerprint reader connector. There's a connector for a secondary 2.5-inch SATA SSD or hard drive here, but they didn't include the bracket or the connector. So if you wanted to add one, you could, but you need to find that piece. There's an M.2, most likely PCIe NVMe SSD here. We're going to remove this screw, also JS1. Okay, then after you do that, you can lift this up slightly and you can wiggle and pull this out. And this is a PCIe NVMe Intel Optane combination SSD. I'm going to hold the SSD and slowly pull this away to peel the thermal pad away from it. And there we go. This is a combined Intel Optane 512 gig SSD. I don't know why they use Intel Optane. I haven't really seen much performance boost from that, but it has that. There's another fan connector here. You got this connector, which goes up most likely for the camera, maybe touch screen or microphones and stuff. But yeah, you got a wireless card here. You got a connector for this board to the motherboard, which is for the SD card slot and 2 USB ports. You got the DC jack or charge port connector that runs all the way along and plugs in right there. So if you break that, you can test it by plugging in there, and there's not really much else. CPU is right here, and if there is a GPU, I believe it's that, but it looks pretty small, so I don't know, it's probably not very powerful. And I think that's about it. The touchpad does seem removable. There's 3 screws here that help hold that, and then there's a bunch of screws holding the buttons area, and obviously the touchpad connects right there. And I think that's about it. I do have to get the SSD to pull the data off. I'll show you actually underneath this. Usually I'll just get underneath an edge of this cover and then kind of like pry it up. Just like that. We'll wiggle that, and here we go. The type of RAM, we'll pull these 2 tabs to the side, pops up at an angle, and we got 8 gig PC4 3200AA. You should be fine with any PC4 3200AA RAM, so if you want, you can get 2 16 gig sticks. If they make 32 gig sticks, you can get that as well, but that's what's in there right now. Okay, sometimes you can also put faster memory, so don't think that you're stuck at that speed, but keep in mind if you're gonna try that, that you have a good return policy on the RAM, so if for some reason it doesn't work or you don't like it or it doesn't make much difference, you could always exchange it. Also, there's more liquid damage there. You can see that crusty stuff. So yeah, anyways, for now we're gonna put this back, or I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna get the SSD, pull the data off, then we'll put this thing back together. All right, so I'll see you guys later once I get that done. Oops, I left the charging thing on. It was probably making lots of static noise. Sorry about that, but anyways, yeah, I'm gonna pull the data off this drive and then I'll be back. See you guys in a bit. All right, I'm back. Sadly, the SSD was corrupted when the liquid damage hit it. The entire drive was just showing up as, well, it showed the partitions, but it showed up as raw. And then when I did a disk check, it still wouldn't see anything, and under Linux, it just showed like a few folders, but no data. So sadly, the data is lost. I don't know if there's special software that can probably recover it better, possibly. But yeah, personally, I wasn't able to view the data. So we're just gonna put this thing back together. We'll leave the SSD out because the customer might want to in the future send it somewhere. But for the time being, we're just gonna put this screw back here. Okay. All right, and let's get the battery and everything back in. So batteries here. Nice little hairs on it. Get those out. Okay. Line that up. I line up the bottom first, then push that down, and you can even pinch that closer together. And we'll just get all these screws back in. But yeah, there's not really much else to this. And yeah. I don't know if, let's see here. Let me ask the customer if they want me to pull the RAM out, because at this point, most of this is junk, and the RAM might be okay. So Yeah, let's do that real quick. All right, give me a second, I'll be back. All right, so we're gonna plop it out. Let's just get back underneath the metal cover if we can and pull that up. All right. It's not worth too much these days, but maybe around $20 or so. This is, oh, actually it's mismatched sticks. So there's a 4 gig stick and that's an 8 gig stick. So not as useful as I would have thought. Let me see what the customer, I think they just messaged me. And see what they said. All right, give me a second. All right, so the customer said to put them in an ESD bag. So we're just gonna pop these out and put them in one of those little pink or silver bags and hand it to them. So we got that and the SSD. I think everything else is not too often used. If the battery works, it might be useful, but finding someone that needs the same battery, not very high of a chance. And also they'd usually want a new battery, not a used one, especially from a liquid damaged computer. The fans might also be usable, but yeah, it's pretty rare and usually people will want a new one. So we're just going to put the rest back. Just pop all this back together. Okay, this one, because it's broken, is a little tricky, but usually you want to get the front sides in first here. Okay, so I have to tilt it at an angle and then we can work our way up the edges here. Okay, just like that, and work our way up the edges. Also, because this cover has a big dent in it, makes it a little weird. So all right, so there we go. Let's go ahead and get these screws back in and we should be good to go. All right, I don't know if these screws will go back in because of the broken hinge mounts, but I guess we'll find out. At least maybe lightly. I'll loosely fit it and then maybe the little adhesive thing will kind of hold it in place. So let's see. Well, okay, get that. And yeah, that one's not really screwing down much more. And then these two are also going to have an issue, but I think we should be okay. Let's get all these screws back in. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Hopefully this video, oops, I did forget one thing, is to put the little heatsink shim thing back in there. Yeah, so let me take this out again. Oh man, that sucks. Let's see if we can pop it out easier than last time, or if it's going to be just as difficult. Let's try and pull up here and undo this screw, and come on. Yeah, no, it's being difficult. Let's go ahead and pop this back out if we can. I'm gonna have to use the metal tool again. Okay, so let's pop this out. Okay, there we go. And can we pull this up again? Looks like it's going to be difficult again. Alright, well, let's go over here and pop this out again. Okay. And come on, let go. There we go. Alright, let's put that little metal shim back just in case. Doesn't have anything to hook to, so it's just gonna be loose there. And get that back in. Alright, let's get this back on. And pop the side clips back in. Alright. Why is this one not popping in? There we go. I don't know why the companies do that, where they put an 8 gig and a 4 gig stick. It's only like $10–15 more, I think, to put the right size to match it so that it runs better. So I don't know. Right, but anyways, that's pretty much all there is to it. We'll get all the screws back in. Again, if this video helped you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And again, if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps, and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. And if you can't do that, then it would be very helpful if you could watch a few of my other videos and then just comment on those as well. Oh, this screw doesn't want to go back in. It's probably not lining up with the broken piece that's in there. So I'm not too sure. I might have to just leave this screw out. Yeah, this one doesn't want to go back in. I guess I'll have to just stick this on top. And yeah. Alright, there we go. Get the middle one back in. And the two T5 or Torx 5 screws. Okay. And that should be pretty much all there is to it. Get that little rubber or plastic foot back in place. And we're good to go. Oh, this adhesive strip is stuck. There we go. Okay, usually I'll line up one side and work my way over. And there we go. Alright, thanks for watching. See you all in the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.